Hey YouTube, Richician of Team Sorcerers here, and here I am showing you my ritual decks, with Magician of Chaos being the main one, and Nouvelle being the other one, or at least it was the main one before I made this a separate deck from my pure Dark Magician deck, and I'll prove it right now that it's separate. See, this is my pure Dark Magician deck right here, and the extra deck for it right here. But of course they'll be shown in a separate video, similar to this one here. Yeah, I feel like rituals actually are my second favourite summoning mechanic. I hadn't really thought about a second favourite. It's not one I use very much, but it's one that I do use. I mean, yeah, that are not as generally as consistent as like extra deck based decks, but they're still a lot of fun to play. Even my Blackluster Soldier deck, which I do miss. But yeah, I thought it'd be fun to just have a separate Dark Magician deck based that's focused on ritual summoning. Yeah, Magician of Chaos is just a cool card, very powerful, just popping cards and then floating for a different ritual monster, as long as it's a different chaos monster or a Blackluster Soldier monster. And the fact that it's treated as Dark Magician on the field and in the graveyard does help as well. I think I even main decked one copy of this in my pure Dark Magician deck at one point, just to try it out, but it ended up working better as a separate deck. And you've got all the different rituals you can bring out with it, like Illusion of Chaos, for instance. Generally used as a searcher more than anything, but yeah, you can summon it as well if you want, especially in this deck. I'd rather go for Magician of Chaos, but there could be times where I might need to actually ritual summon this as well and just stop a monster effect, negate. Then Magician of Black Chaos Max. This one doesn't come out very often, and it can be a bit tricky to use its first effect a lot of the time. I mean, if I've got incantations or Rod, I can just tribute that and seal off monster effects for a turn. Other than that, it's a nice cool beat stick. Then we've got my favourite ritual monster in the game, Blackluster Soldier Super Soldier, just because it's a 3k version of Flame Wingman. I love monsters with a Flame Wingman effect. I mean, this is mostly what I go for when I play my Blackluster Soldier deck, so I guess in a way it lives on in this deck. Now, Magician of Black Chaos Max and Chaos Max Dragon are better options, but you know, I just wanted to have this as well, you know, for a bit of fun. And then of course Chaos Max itself, it's a 4k beta that's hard to get rid of, really. It's funny, because once upon a time this used to be one of my top 5 hated ritual monsters. Yeah, just because in the early days this was around, there wasn't a lot that could get rid of it, and yeah, decks based on this deck were a bad matchup for my Dark Magician deck, because I use a lot of effects that target, you know, like Circle, Big Eye, Draco Sack. along with the fact that I still play Mirror Force and Regeki, but none of these cards work on it, and it's like, this is so annoying. How do I get rid of it? I think the only ways I could were with Drowning Mirror Force, Dark Paladin, or powering up one of my Dark Spellcasters with Apprentice Illusion Magician. But now, of course, there's just more ways, more ways of dealing with it. Even with Master of Chaos, and then I grew to just not hate it at all, really. I guess it's more of a love-hate card now. I mean, I'm not saying it's like one of my favourite cards ever, but it's something I don't mind using in, well, particularly in this deck, but it's something I just hate when it's used against me. Of course, the funny thing is, I think my hero decks can deal with it a bit better than my Dark Magician decks. Anyway, speaking of Dark Magician, I wasn't sure what version of it to put in, but I just thought, well, rather than put in the starter deck Yugi Ultra Rares in there, I'd just put in the collectible tin Ultra from the 2016 tin. Thought about using a different artwork as well, but I thought, nah, I just love this artwork too much. It's my favourite one, and yeah, I like using it. And Dark Magician Girl, not one of my original copies, but no harm having a nice gold rare in here, is one of my spare Apprentice Illusion Magicians as well. And then the 3 rods, all common. And then your other ritual searchers, the incantations. I could have played more copies, but I needed room for other things. I mean, yeah, they help the deck work like clockwork, even though they do lock me out of the extra deck, but with ritual decks you generally don't need it anyway, so it's fine. And then 3 Manjus, and yes, all 3 of these are the original prints from Invasion of Chaos. So one of these I've had for a long time, I forget which one. But yeah, only a common, but I still think it's a nice flex having the original print in there. And then you've got pretty much a ritual staple, well, usually anyway, at least for anything with level 7 or lowers, Preparation of Rites. So yeah, I do own these. I mean, some people, I think mainly Dragon Master 25, keep saying I should get Preparation of Rites for my Dark Magician deck, but I'm like, I have one already, well, rather a playset already, but I'd rather just have them in this deck. I mean, yeah, I could run it in my pure Dark Magician deck just to add Illusion of Chaos, but it's like, well, it just takes up room, plus I have cards that deck thin anyway, and I'm only running 2 copies, so I just don't think it's necessary. But in this sort of deck, yeah, definitely have 3. Then the ritual spells of choice, which I think are fine, like double Chaos Form, double Advanced Ritual Art. Yeah, Advanced Ritual Art is why I don't play Magician's Souls in here, because I feel like it would just clog too much and just make this unplayable. Even though if I draw any copies of Dark Magician, then it just gets harder to use. And then Secrets of Dark Magic, just another card to get out my rituals. I can fusion summon as well, yeah, of course. Well, although it is my only fusion spell and I don't go for those very much. Then the 3 circles, all of which are odd copies. This is a nightmare, because I've got an ultra rare with the red writing and 2 commons from Legendary Dauntless 6 in 2 different languages. So yeah, it's a bit annoying, but yeah, one day I'll try and have them in the same rarity and same language. and then 2 copies of Soul Servant, the Platinum Rare one from Rarity. Well, technically it's Rarity Collection 3, but the Quarter Century Bonanza. Again, I would have 3 of it, but there's just not enough room. And then Pot of Greed, because again, this is following Richician format. If this was not a Richician format deck, oh my god, why does this keep tipping over? Then this would be a 3rd Soul Servant as well, so it's not a problem. And then Regeki. Oh, and actually this is one of the few decks that I don't have Twin Twisters in. I guess because of Circle and Magician of Chaos, it's probably not needed that much. So I guess it's okay. But yeah, obviously the 2 Eternal Souls are still needed. And here's my generic monster effect negation, Solemn Strike and a single copy of Fiendish Chain. Yeah, only 1 of each, because A, there's lack of space, and B, like I said in the last video, I'm planning to limit Solemn Strike in my format, and I was just trying to find a replacement. I could have put Imperm in here, but I'm just not too sure about it, because it's kind of hard to activate it from the hand, because I run lots of back row. But, you know, it is what it is. And then the extra deck is just there, just because, I mean, again, you're not going to rely on it heavily. I think there's still 15 in here, I'm not sure. But obviously you've got 2 copies of Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, if need be, and there's Master of Chaos, plenty of fusion materials to bring it out, Amulet Dragon, why not, Dark Magician, the Knight of Dragon Magic, Dark Cavalry, which I can make very easily, because I do have a warrior in here, which is my Blackluster Soldier Super Soldier, so that's an option. And 2 copies of the Dark Magicians, that's the secret from Legendary Duelist Season 3, the common guy, the Dragon Champion, to go with my Knight of Dragon Magic, and then there's a standard Xyz lineup. Like, even though we're still focusing on the rituals, number 74, Master of Blades, just as a space filler really, Draco Sack and Big Eye, aka just 1 Cornetto, and they're the only ones I play, because, well, again, you're not Xyz summoning a lot with this deck, plus Red Eye's Flare Metal Dragon is actually banned in Richician format, because it's, I don't know if I explained it in another video, but the reason why that is because it puts someone in a situation where they literally can't play. They drop the opponent to 500 or less, then Xyz summon Flare Metal, and that's basically an auto win, and I just personally don't think that's fair. We don't want cards in my format that literally stop you from playing the game. So yeah, that's why. And then there's links, which you can go into, but again, it doesn't matter if you don't. Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos, my favourite link monster in the game. Now, funnily enough, this too could also be used as a fusion material for Dark Cavalry, but why would you? Like, unless you were desperate. Then Dynamondo, that's handy for ritual decks. spinning and reviving a ritual. The Dark Charmer Gloomy as well, because of all the darks. Plus Artemis the Majestus Moon Maiden, if I need to get a rod off the field. I mean, I usually do that play anyway, when I play my pure Dark Magician deck, so I can set up for my Magician's Rod's other effect there, if I can talk. And now for the other ritual deck I have, Nouvelle, which I could still end up selling, not over here though, but yeah, this is a really fun deck as well, something based off Hungry Burger, which has become a favourite of mine in terms of rituals. Oh, and before anyone asks, yes, I am aware of the support we're getting in an upcoming set, including Angry Burger, but I haven't yet figured out what to drop to put in for the new cards. I mean, yeah, I did make a Hungry Burger deck at one point for a deck building challenge, but it's just nice that it now has its own archetype, and I know Nouvelle players typically only play one Hungry Burger, but I just prefer to have two. A, because, well, the archetype wouldn't be a thing if it wasn't for Hungry Burger, and the other one is there have been situations where I needed a second one to use off the other boss monster, Bale Grill de Nouvelles, and it helped out a lot. There we go, the other boss monster, the head chef himself. But yeah, as you can probably guess, I'm playing two of each of the rituals that they play, because I think it's a good enough number. I mean, 3 each is just too many. It would make it too bricky. Alright, yeah, the deck can brick, but having 3 of each would definitely make it too bricky, and I feel like just one copy of certain ones just isn't enough, in my personal opinion. So I like to get a good balance of like every single one. And there we are. I mean, I'm probably going to end up playing 2 Angry Burgers, most probably, and dropping 1 Hungry Burger, because I believe its first line of text says that it's always treated as Hungry Burger, so it would have the same ruling as like Harpy Lady, Cyber Harpy, Harpy Ladies 1, 2 and 3. Yeah, it's a shame, because I do want to keep multiple copies of Hungry Burger, but if I have to drop 1, then, so be it. Then we've got Poissonnet de Nouvelles, the only pendulum, at least until we get the other pendulum. What was his name? Chef de Nouvelles? I'm not sure. And yeah, I've got Candle and Talismandra in here as well. These aren't the original prints, they're the reprints from Wild Survivors. Also very helpful. Although I remember there was this arsehole last year who criticised me for having these in here, probably because of culinary confrontation. I mean, yeah, I get that it stops this being activated, but again, it's an easy workaround. Just play the confrontation first, and then summon these guys. Like, it's not hard. I mean, it's not a big deal. Plus, at the end of the day, it's down to personal preference. Anyway, 3 Manjus as well. more staples for ritual decks. That being said, I don't play the incantations in my Blackluster Soldier deck. Just, well, I think it's because I just needed room for other things, and I know I said it can brick, but generally the yeah, I play so many other cards that are good enough that they shouldn't really be needed. Plus, sometimes I will need to make a rank 8, which I can't do if these guys are on the field. I don't know, maybe I'll change my mind about that, but I just don't know. But at the very least, in these two decks, the incantations are helpful, and of course, I'm playing 3 of each ritual spell. You could argue that it's a bit much, but I disagree. Yeah, because, well, you need to have as many as possible to actually bring these guys out. Alright, yeah, they do special summon each other, but it doesn't get to that, like, all the time. Yeah, because there are ways that you can just play around them, like activate Regeki, for instance. But yeah, then you've got the main searcher, today's menu, to grab whatever you need, pretty much, even though the opponent chooses. Now, I did think about playing Reinforcement of the Army and Tenki, because, you know, you do have a mixture of warriors and beast warriors, but I feel like it still runs fine this way anyway, so it's not really much of a necessity. And of course, there's 2 copies of Culinary Confrontation right here to bring out Poissonnaire and Pâtisserie, and then of course the Restaurant. That's your other big card that's needed, your main searcher, plus your recycler, and then again Pot of Greed, just because it's on the Richician format, but you know, you can easily run like whatever else you want as a replacement if you played this on the current format. And then there's a low trap lineup. 1 Chef's Special Recipe, 1 Solemn Strike, and 1 Fiendish Chain. The Strike I already explained earlier, same with Fiendish Chain, and recently Chef's Special Recipe went to 1. Even though its activation is a hard once per turn, it just feels too much like an Infernity Barrier, where it's just stopping too much. And you know, I just feel bad when I have to use it as a stopper card that like hard counters this deck. Again, like I said, Regeki or Mirror Force or what have you. You know, because you know, these guys can't react to effects that don't target. Well, I mean, technically, Bale Grill and Balamir can, but yeah, I think you know what I mean. Yeah, again, it's there's a work in progress, just trying to make things more fun and fair, really. But yeah, again, I chose Fiendish Chain because there's I don't play any battle traps in this deck, as you can see. I don't play anything on the level that the Magician of Chaos deck does, all the same. So yeah, I chose Fiendish Chain as a way to stop attacking monsters as well. But even though I know Imperm is better, but again, yeah, unless I'm going first or second, it's kind of hard to use Infinite Impermanence in this deck. I mean, of course, obviously, you can play 3 imperms if you want in your own build. You know, it's entirely up to you. Again, it's all down to personal preference, and yeah, I've got an extra deck here again, even though it doesn't focus a lot on it. There's only really 2 monsters I'd ever go for, really. One of which is Dynamondo, and the other is, of course, this lady here, Patisicel Curvature, or however you say it. So yeah, obviously 2 of those, because I played 2 copies of Culinary Confrontation, of course. I could even set up a pendulum scale with this plus an air and do some pendulum summoning, even though it's not a pendulum deck. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we're going to get any other Nouvelle support after what we're getting, but maybe there'll be more pendulums, who knows. And again, there's some exceeds I can go into if need be. You know, mainly, you know, rank 6, 5 and 4s. I think I've got some rank 5s, I can't remember. I've got Utopia Beyond, Constellar Ptolemy M7, Photon Strike Bouncer, and yeah, that is an original print of it. This is really cool. Oh no, I don't have any rank 5s, my mistake. But yeah, Utopia package, of course. Then Honorak and Castell plus Emerald, you know, just because. And then Lynx, naturally you've got the Nightmare package as well. Oh yeah, Cerberus as well. And then of course the 2 Dynamondos. There were 3 in here, but the 3rd one is actually right here in this deck, because I don't have loads going spare. I mean, you could play 3 if you wanted to. But it shouldn't really get to a point where you need to run 3. But yeah, you just never know. And then lastly, Doc the Dark Charmer. I guess which is in there just because, really. Of course, the problem is it can't really search anything in the deck because the defense points of the rituals are too high. So yeah, Talismandra is the only monster Doc can search, you know, if it gets destroyed. Of course, but again, doesn't really matter either way because you shouldn't rely on the extra deck a lot anyway. Oh, and that was another thing which that arsehole said. He was questioning why I was playing Exceeds. And I'm just thinking, really? I mean, what's the big... I really don't see what the big deal is. Because, again, it's a ritual deck and you're not focusing on bringing out the extra deck monsters, well, except Patisicel and Dynamondo, because the focus is the rituals. You know, again, it's a ritual deck, so does it really matter what extra deck cards you have in here? Really? Because I don't think so. You know, especially if you did decide to play Pot of Extravagance or Pot of Prosperity. I wouldn't play Pot of Extravagance in the deck, of course, because, well, it banishes extra deck monsters randomly, and you know, you don't want to lose Patisicel, do you? I mean, there's a chance both could get banished, and then Culinary Confrontation is a dead card. So, it's better to use the next best thing, Pot of Prosperity, which I would like to get for the deck. Just for more consistency. I just haven't been able to do that yet. I don't know whether or not to do the same regarding Magician of Chaos. In fact, I didn't even think of that until now. But yeah, I could play Prosperity or Extravagance or both in the Magician of Chaos deck, because it's not a huge issue if I banish anything from extra. I don't know. That's something else to think about. But yeah, those are my ritual decks. Maybe one day I'll rebuild my Blackluster Soldier deck and it can join them. And then I'll have all three of my favourite ritual decks, but I don't know. It's not easy getting the pots, to be honest, at the moment. Along with the fact that I've said that I didn't want to build or rebuild any more decks, but there's still a chance I might make another exception and bring Blackluster Soldier back. Who knows? Anyway, that's all I got for this one. Thanks for watching.